So, Stefan, we've had loads of talented people on The Breakfast Show this week, and we're joined by another today. We're speaking to Lowri Madoc, and she's about to publish her first book. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So, Hetty Backstage is the book. What's the story about?
So, it's the first of a series of 6, actually. So it's quite exciting. The actual first, it's kind of got off the ground, you know, and so it's basically semi-autobiographical stories about little girl who's got parents who are in the theatre business, and yeah, it's about her life going from boarding school and off to ventures at the weekend, going to visit them, and so it's basically based around my own life, but with some fictional tales too.
And of course, you had some quite famous parents. How true to your real life is this story?
It is quite true, actually. So a lot of the sort of slightly anecdotal, actually. It's sort of quite therapeutic writing. It's been really fun because there's literally so many tales and lovely settings and lovely memories I have that I really wanted to bring them into the settings. So, like I say, the actual, I suppose the nice sort of moral and story that ends up is fictional to itself, but the setting and a lot of my description is really, I wanted to sort of make it as authentic. And I suppose they say write what you know, right? And it was kind of quite easy to literally describe all the settings. And I think for children, it's really nice. And I've always had the idea that for those, I've got 3 children myself, and I think I've always wanted to have a go at writing stories because I think they all develop at different stages with their reading. And I think, with this book, I've aimed it at the 6 to 7-year-old age the idea being that it's that transitional side, time rather, when you're learning to read independently, and those books, and that's the age that they're appealing to. So, and I think that achievement of actually reading by yourself is a great time, and they really want nice stories, not too complicated, straightforward, but with lots of description, and so they can build the picture up in their mind. So
definitely.
Yeah.
And Lowri, your parents, Ruth and Philip Madoc, very famous, of course. What was it like for you to grow up and, backstage behind theatre sets, on TV and film sets? That must have been quite the experience for you.
It was. And I think, I suppose, and the idea of writing a children's book is that you're writing it from the child's perspective. And so my normal was a bit different to everybody else's normal, but it was very normal in my way. So, it's what they did for a job. I mean, and that was really the nice side of it. It was at times you took it in your stride as a child, really. You're in fantastic venues, amazing sets, but it's what they did. So you didn't really, at the time, you're not really appreciating it. You're just kind of going along, and that's why it's kind of, I thought that actually from the child's perspective, because I know having 3 children, I can be extremely embarrassing.
And no matter how famous your parents are, that's always a case, right?
Exactly. And I just think it was a slightly added element, with having mum and dad doing what they did. And I think, I didn't like the eyes on me. I definitely didn't like that. So, if people stop them in the street, you just die a million deaths.
You say that you didn't like the eyes on you. Is that why you chose kind of a career behind the stage rather in front? Did you ever I
really loved being in and around the theatre. I still do get a bit giddy when I go into a theatre. It's just, from every moment, from the stage doorkeeper to the lighting, the sound, I spend ages with the guys at the sound desk, and it's mesmerising how it all comes together. Yeah. And having gone into stage management and theatre management, I really still have a love for that side. I mean, apart from, I really did enjoy, that slight embarrassment you get with your parents. I love to watch them work as well. Mm-hmm. I mean, I to cry, a million times. I'd watch my mum in pantomime and I'd be very emotional, if she was banished, in a scene or something, and, it really does get to you. And I really do love it. And I got, like I say, great memories of it. And, but it was a lot of the technical side was my draw. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what brought you to Gibraltar in the end?
I came down here. I've been here like 20 years, and I think I was down for about 2. So I came down with work, and I ended up working with the fabulous Ibex. And I came here, and then I ended up meeting my husband, and then as life goes on, right? This is how life happens.
2 years became 20.
Yes. And, yeah, exactly. And
you love the rock that much.
So Hetty Backstage is going to be published in June, so this month. Will it be sold in local bookshops?
Yes, I'm going to have, hopefully, delivery will be here next week. It's on Amazon at the moment, and also on the Kindle. I think with the children, they really like to get their hands on the books. And I've also done some of the illustrations in there as well. I didn't do the front cover. That was done by another great girl who, it's been a really fun project, actually. Again, another sort of, you're getting lots of tales, I think, of lockdown. And it's been a really nice time for it all to come together. I think, you sort of try and find your creative side, right, of it. And I think it pushes you. We've had it on the go, on the boil, for a little while, but it's actually lovely that it's come together at this time. And I feel like we've had a fun project, and I've really enjoyed the whole process, actually, and learning, about another side of the creative arts that I've never really known. And, and it's done. So it's been good. And I'm on to the next one now, and I'm hoping to get that one out.
Oh, you've got another one on the way.
Yeah, another one on the way. And I think, again, with kids' books, it's really nice to have a series. I know my youngest, he loves to sort of, once he gets his hand on one, he wants to read the series. And you want to learn more about the character and more about their exploration. So
brilliant stuff. Before you go, Lowri, who do you say is the most famous person you've ever met backstage at one of these things?
God, it's like I do remember myself working a couple of Royal Variety performances, which were very exciting. They were real highlights, actually, when I was in the Lyceum, which is where The Lion King is on now. Mm-hmm. And I was part of the management team there. And gosh, I remember being in a cupboard, believe it or not, with Ivana Trump.
No way.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
I was not expecting that name.
Sniffer dogs were running, so I had to grab her into a cupboard. That was very funny. Yeah. Very funny moments. But, lots of lovely tales.
Wow. We'll have to have you on again when you release your next book, and you can tell us some more stories about your fascinating upbringing.
Yeah, thanks. I'd love to.
Thanks for speaking to us today. Good luck with that book.
Take care. Have a good day.
And you. Bye.
Lowri Madoc there, who was publishing her first ever book, Hetty Backstage. It sounds like it's a fascinating read. You can get that on the Kindle, like you said, and I think she'll be also sending that to some local
also
places.
on Amazon. Mm-hmm.
Yep.